Tonight, reactions to the Acacia fraternity hazing allegations.
And more on LSU's new sexual assault policy. All this and more Newsbeat starts right now.
Good evening, Tigers. I'm Michael Edmondson.
And I'm Jackie Massey. Thanks for tuning in tonight.
After the Acacia fraternity was charged with hazing, students had a lot to say regarding the issue and, of course, LSU's response to the situation. Many students supported the decision to discipline Acacia after their violent acts toward their pledge class. Tiger TV reporter Larissa Bonakista gave a few students the opportunity to voice their opinion on the matter.
I think LSU definitely made the right decision. If it would have been an out of sight, out of mind thing, no one could have blamed LSU for what was happening. But now that light was shed on the situation and brought to their attention, they definitely made the right decision in the call they made.
I thought it was pretty disgusting what they did. I was kind of surprised, I've heard about hazing, but I didn't really think that it was to that extent. And I'm surprised nobody got really injured or anything. And yes, I think LSU definitely did the right thing by disciplining them, because if they're not disciplined, then it's obviously going to keep on happening.
Overall, I think the problem is to completely wipe out hazing and to make it an issue where it's not even thought of in the fraternity field, and it's more of a brotherhood instead of a initiation process.
To learn more of what LSU's decision is in regards to the Acacia fraternity, check out tigertv.tv. And if you want to voice your opinion, tweet us at LSU Tiger TV with the hashtag LSU Decision.
LSU officials are working on different ways to fight sexual assaults with the new Louisiana Board of Regents policy. The policy is aggressive against all sexual misconduct and targets 4 mandatory requirements: campus climate surveys, prevention awareness programs, coordination with local law enforcement, and institutional task forces. The board passed the policy in February, and Louisiana universities until July 1st to draft a policy. The Director of Human Resource Management, Gaston Reynoso, says LSU is ahead of the game because we began planning last June. The consequences of not following the new policy in time could result in a loss of federal funding for the university.
Well, LSU students brought together a diverse group of people for free music, food, games, and more. Tiger TV's Michaela Morgan has more as she was on the scene at the first annual PRSSA Diversity Mixer.
It is a step towards progress that many institutions have yet to take. But let's take that step today. Make it start now.
The Diversity Committee of the LSU chapter of the Public Relations Student Society took that first step in promoting diversity yesterday evening at its first ever Diversity Mixer in the Holiday Forum. Chairman of the committee and PRSSA Treasurer Shonda Johnson founded the event to celebrate the differences among people around LSU in a fun-filled environment.
Okay, well, let's just have a night where we're not charging people. We're just going to have some food, some games, and some fun, and everybody for LSU and the community to just come up to LSU and just celebrate each other's differences, alikeness, and just be diverse in one place and mix and mingle.
But mixing and mingling was just one part of the lively event that included multiple interactive stations and even a speech by the founder of the I Am Initiative and high school student Rashad Red, who he himself is a big supporter of diversity.
I think that diversity and events like this are so necessary. They're beyond necessary because without having any diversity, we can't have the workforce that America initially wanted.
Attendees had the opportunity to network with others by taking pictures, playing games, and even displaying their own unique qualities at the representation station, where I too even joined in all of the diversity fun. For Tiger TV, I'm Michaela Morgan.
And just in case you missed out on all the fun, you can find out all the organization's plans for the upcoming semester on its website at prssalsu.com. Now to Kristen Bertel to give us our weekly forecast.
I really hope I can get a tan over spring break.
Me too. Let's see what she says.
Hey Tigers, so far we've had a pretty perfect pre-spring break weather. It's been mostly sunny and hot since Friday, and when we look at tonight's forecast, you can see the temperature is going to drop from the 80s that we've had during the day down to the low 60s. Also, tonight is predicted to be pretty foggy, so be extra cautious if you're planning on driving anywhere tonight. Wednesday is going to feel pretty similar to today, but it's going to be partly cloudy with only a 10% chance of rain. High is going to be around 84 degrees, and the low will be around 66 degrees by tomorrow night. For Thursday, you expect it to be much cloudier than any other day this week, and temperature's going to stay pretty high at 86 degrees. There's going to be a 20% chance of rain as well. That's all the weather I have for now. Keep watching to see if the clouds will clear up in time for some last-minute spring break tanning.
Up next, Cody Krupp will be with us to give us an update on Tiger sports.
Stay tuned.
Hello everyone, I am Cody Krupp and welcome into sports. With tonight's sportscast breaking this afternoon of LSU sophomore Jordan Mickey declaring for the NBA draft, which is going to end his time in Baton Rouge. The 6'9" All-SEC forward led the nation in blocks as well as second in scoring in the SEC, going along with a conference lead in rebounds as he joins fellow LSU Tiger Jarrell Martin to the professional game. An injury sustained in the Tennessee loss left Mickey out of action in the season finale, but returned in what would be his final collegiate game to score 12 points, 14 rebounds, and reject 6 shots in the tournament opening loss to the Wolfpack. The old saying goes, the test of success is not what you do when you're on top, but is determined on how high you bounce when you hit the bottom. A tough Kentucky series for an LSU baseball squad, but a chance to bounce back quickly and leave last weekend out of mind. Former number one, and now the third-ranked LSU Tigers begin their 4-game road swing tonight when they take on the UL Lafayette Raging Cajuns. It will not be played in the heart of Cajun country, nor in front of 10,000 strong in the box, but at Zephyr Field in Metairie. Just a .261 batting average as a team and a 10-15 record. Lafayette will have its hands full with a Tiger squad coming off their first SEC series defeat of the season. The battle for the Bayou dates back to 1912, and the last of which coming last season with a 4-1 Raging Cajuns victory in Alex Box. But for Coach Mainieri, it's a friendly rivalry.
They've done a tremendous job over there, and I personally like those guys too. I know that probably rubs some people the wrong way that we actually get along, that we don't have to hate each other, all right? Because we don't. At least I can tell you from this side, we don't. You know, I have great respect, and Tony won his 1,000th game earlier this year. I was maybe his first text message to congratulate him. You know, it's a game I look forward to. Our team looks forward to. I'm sure they look forward to.
Leading into the start of last year's football season, LSU, or otherwise known as DBU, looked to be as solid as many can remember. Tre'Davious White on one end with lockdown Rashard Robinson on the other. Then came Wisconsin, and all that talk ended. Robinson would not play in LSU's opening game against the Badgers, and with 3 games remaining, would be dismissed from the program. After many petitions with the school for eligibility, apparently he is coming back to Saturday nights in Death Valley. This tweet by his friend and fellow native of Pompano Beach, Florida, Patrick Peterson, is congratulating the Tiger on his second chance. The little homie at Mantis RR is a Tiger again. Now that he got a second chance, I know he won't let it slip away again. Let's hope that is the case, as he could add to an already deep 2016 depth chart. From one Tiger looking for a second chance to another looking to get it started. LSU sophomore wide receiver DJ Shark has been turning heads all over the field this spring, and his emergence could turn up the notch on what is already one of the fastest teams in the country.
We all come in with the ideal of wanting to play, but once you get here, you realize that some people are more advanced and some people need to learn more. Kind of like coming from what high school you are. I mean, people do things differently. But once we got here, we all been pushing each other, and I felt like my first year was a year to learn, and I'm still learning. And all the young receivers are learning from the older receivers that's here, and we just getting better and better.
Frisbee night at Tiger Park. Nice catch, buddy. For LSU softball, as they look to put the weekend series in the rearview mirror as they host the first of 4 straight at home with the in-state battle with the Warhawks of Monroe. Coming off a win on Sunday to salvage a series in the Bluegrass State, LSU now enters 32-3 on the season with a 6-3 conference record. This weekend, the records of numbers of Bet Torina's squad were humbled a bit, coming down to just 244 for the weekend and only 5 runs scored. And it was a series of missed opportunities and cold weather, but now back at home, the red-hot Bats will look to return to the hot as temperature. That is all for sports today. After the break, we'll have more on the Greek response to the acacia removal. Won't want to miss that. Stay tuned.
Welcome back. Go Big Baton Rouge was in action this weekend with over 1,300 students serving the Baton Rouge area this year in comparison to last year's 1,200 students. The work reached almost 60 locations, including a thrift store for women who just got out of prison. The work extended from beautification work, gardening and yard work, and elderly assistance to painting and minor repairs.
The volunteers coming to help means a whole lot, because right now what we're doing is we're taking all summer clothes that we have stored away and we're rotating it out with winter that we have in our warehouse. And the amount of work that it is, we just truly don't have the manpower. We always need volunteers and we always need extra hands. So for them to come and do this with us means a lot.
5 of us here right now are actually part of a class that does a lot of service learning with Connections for Life, which is a program for ladies who have just recently gotten out of prison and, need help getting on their feet. So of course, we love to come out here and help them. Actually ends up being pretty great. And then a lot of people who actually go through this program end up donating afterwards and helping out as much as they can. So you build a lot of connections with the ladies and things like that, and it's a really great program.
Yeah, so I had signed up as an individual, ran into a couple people that I've known throughout the years. They were a little skimped out on numbers, so they asked me to help them out, so I did. And we lucked out to come to a great organization that Baton Rouge has.
For more information on next year's Go Big Baton Rouge, contact Bryce Bourgeois at gobig@lsu.edu.
Along with the Acacia fraternity being closed at LSU, other fraternities around the country have also been under scrutiny. Before Acacia, Oklahoma shut down their Sigma Alpha Epsilon chapter after a video featuring racist chants surfaced. Penn State also recently closed a chapter along with Rutgers University, who closed one of their chapters due to the hospitalization of drunk students. Greeks have been wondering if they are being targeted by universities.
A lot of the times, there's a bunch of talk lately that people have been trying to get away, trying to get rid of the Greek system altogether. And I mean, if it wasn't for Greek life, I wouldn't have found a home away from a home when I first came here, when I didn't know anyone.
Fraternities still believe they are building brotherhood and don't deserve the bad rep that they are getting.
Well, coming up after the break, more on the partnership between BRCC and LSU.
We'll be right back. LSU and BRCC extended the Bear to Tiger program by adding engineering to the academic agreement. But that might just be the first of many changes to come.
In 2010, students have used the Bears to Tiger program to seamlessly transition from BRCC to LSU. The two schools added to this academic arrangement Thursday afternoon by signing an agreement between the two engineering schools.
Is particularly special to us, and the signing of this ceremonial document is meaningful in that it symbolizes our working together to help our state and help our students.
If President Obama's proposal for free community college passes, there may be many more of these additions to come. BRCC Chancellor Elaine Velez seems optimistic about this proposition.
Wouldn't that be a wonderful thing? I think the size would certainly vastly expand the number of classrooms that we have. So we would have to really take a look at that. And certainly we might want to expand with the number of programs that we offer. That would be the best of both worlds. It would cause us some logistic problems, but we would be able to serve so many more students, and that's our goal.
Dean Jodale Ellis oversees the transfer program at BRCC, and she feels there are many advantages to using this program.
There's a lot of research that shows that students who come to a four-year institution with an associate's degree are more successful than students overall who don't have that degree.
LSU pharmacy student Jesse Pousson transferred to LSU from BRCC and claims the cultural differences impacted his education.
I remember when I initially came here, my classes were 500 people or so for my lower sciences, and the same thing at BRCC would be 25, 30 people tops, at BRCC, but at the same time, you have to go on the level of the average BRCC student. I think the average LSU student has some natural intelligence going on a little bit higher, where the BRCC student might have not made it into LSU in some scenarios, or might be going back to BRCC after non-success or whatever.
While most BRCC students embraced the idea of free tuition, many had their concerns about the economic impact.
But I'm just not going to be jumping immediately, say, oh, it's free, I'll take it and I'll pay later, because inflation go up every year too.
Free tuition sounds sketchy. It sounds too good to be true.
You would just have to get used to paying the more taxes.
For Tiger TV, I'm Preston Guy.
Even if President Obama's proposal does not go through, BRCC administration still intends to expand the program.
Well, researchers say it might take decades until we learn the full impact of the Deepwater Horizon oil spill. Some problems include dead dolphins, a decrease in the sea turtle population, and reproduction issues with speckled trout, according to the National Wildlife Federation. Many studies involve the National Resource Damage Assessment process and state and federal agencies, so they are not made public. The NWF released a report at the end of 2014 listing certain projects from barrier island restoration to sediment diversity from the Mississippi. These are part of Louisiana's master plan for the restoration process.
Up next, I'll give you your weekly political update and tell you what Senator David Vitter and Congressman Garrett Graves say about our president.
And Kristen Bertel is back again to let us know what we can expect for the weekend's weather, so don't go anywhere.
Hello, welcome back to your weekly political update. Senator David Vitter says he has no desire to impeach Obama because Joe Biden would be in charge. According to the advocate, Congressman Garrett Graves agrees. He says he wants to adjust the balance of power so future presidents won't run over Congress. In other news, Louisiana residents do not seem to like the phrase Common Core. In an LSU poll, results show that people are more likely to vote if it's phrased differently. One simple word does make the difference. About 67% of people favor the phrase academic standards instead. You can see the biggest difference in this Republican poll. 71% prefer the phrase academic standards instead of Common Core standards. So apparently Bobby Jindal likes to work out, and he doesn't skip leg day. In an interview with MSNBC, Jindal says his morning workout starts with cardio, but he's not the only one working it. Jeb Bush says he's currently on the paleo diet. Some people call it the caveman diet because it cuts out processed food. And look at Mike Huckabee. He lost more than 100 pounds before his 2008 presidential nomination. Someone's ready for spring break. Hello. So is this a clue that Jindal is possibly running for president? I guess we'll find out eventually. Stay tuned next week for the next political update.
Thanks, Jackie. Now to Kristen with the weekend weather forecast.
Welcome back to the weather. This week has been beautiful so far, and luckily it looks like it's going to stay that way for most of the week as well. Temperatures are going to remain in the 80s during the day and drop down to 60s every night through Friday. You can expect the weather to stay pretty similar to today's through Friday as well, but with cloudier skies as the week goes on. Moving into this weekend, you can see that Saturday is going to be partly cloudy and a little cooler than it's been all week, with temperatures in the 70s. Sunday, temperatures will stay in the low 70s, and you can plan for a mostly cloudy Easter. You can also plan for some PM showers at night because there's going to be an 80% chance of rain. By Monday, temperature will be up in the mid-80s again, but there's also going to be an 80% chance of thunderstorms all day. So if you're heading to the beach Monday, be prepared to drive through some rain. That's all the weather I have for you tonight. I'll see you back here tomorrow. Now back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Kristen. After the break, some tips on how to stay safe during your wild spring break vacations. Stay tuned. Welcome back. With spring break coming up, here are a few tips to help you stay safe wherever you're vacationing. According to the Rape, Abuse, and Incest National Network, following these 8 tips will help to keep you safe. Number 1, trust your instincts.
Number 2, be careful of the YOLO mentality.
Well, and that's all we got. We unfortunately just had 2 of the 8, but as long as you just be careful of the YOLO mentality, I think everything's going to be good.
And
have a good night, guys.
Next week after spring break. Want to hear all your crazy stories.
See you later.